Would you say, David, that overall, across your industry experience, when it comes to insurance and running a business in insurance, it is very much an iceberg where there's a lot underwater that you have to deal with compared to other industries? There may not be quite as much hiding under the surface. What is your thought process on all of that in startup? Because it's what I just took away from that.
That's what squashes most new people coming into this industry. Now, you all want, however you want to do this, but the thing about the statistics say of new people coming into this industry, I believe it is a 70% fail rate.
Yeah.
And
sounds about right.
I've watched people, I know people that said, well, I see all those people living the swanky life. They only get to work, and they're playing golf all the time. I'm going to start going insurance too, so I can do that same life and have the flexibility to go do and come and go as I want. You all know as well as I do, when you're starting an agency, there is no flexibility.
There's zero flexibility.
When you're starting a business.
Right, when you're starting a business, period.
Yeah. It's amazing. Would you say, is it the business side that gets people, or is it the production side? Because I think running the business is one piece, but I think a lot of people go, it's sales. It's easy.
They see that everybody needs the product, but they don't recognize the amount of red tape.
Is it the industry knowledge?
I guess it would be interesting to ask everybody their idea here, because what do we all think?
I'm going to go with choice number E and say it's their false expectations.
There you go.
Oh,
okay.
Wrapped up in all of those things,
because
probably.
I think the work expectations of the business itself is not there. I think that they have a misunderstanding from the need of the product, from the production side that you asked about, that, well, everyone needs it, so they'll just come line up at my door and get it. I think that's a false expectation. I think the industry knowledge thing, I think that is because they see, well, if they could do it, I could do it. I think there's that false expectation as well. So I think that's probably the greatest chink in their armor that puts most people in the tank faster than anything, is the false expectations of, to your point, Chad, of just starting a business in general. That it's kind of like, when you have a baby, you don't sleep for the first 2 years, right? I mean,
yes,
you just don't. I mean, they're up, they're down, you're not sleeping, everybody, there's no sleep for anybody for about a couple years. It's just, that's the way it is with business. And I think that small percentage of people that come in with a business mindset of understanding this is what it takes, has the appropriate metrics and expectations to put into it, those are the people that succeed.
Absolutely. So now, one of the distinctions you made is you predominantly spend most of your time on the commercial side, right?
Yes, sir.
And so we do know that through ICA, you also have a personal lines piece.
Yes.
So what is it that you would tell somebody that was crushing it in the personal lines, but is maybe timid about stepping over into the commercial side? Because that's actually something we see a lot with several of our member agents.
Yeah.
Is, they've got a great...
They have an apprehension to it.
Yeah, they've got a great personal lines book. They've got... They're past 5, 7, 10 years being in business, so they're good at what they do, but they're there's some apprehension, good word, Chris, on stepping into the commercial lines. Do you see that, and how do you help, or what do you recommend people as far as stepping beyond that?
I would probably say, Chad, that might be, on a safe side, 75% of the people that I deal with. Of people that I've been doing personal lines, or I understand personal lines. I know I want to make more money, right? And there's only so many hours in a day that you can write so much personal lines business.
Right.
It just is. You can only write so much in a day, in a week, in a month. And at some point you kind of cap out because it becomes very linear. Unless you shift markets and you go straight to nothing but high value, high net worth folks.
Right.
But from your standard, mass market personal lines, I see 70, probably 75% of our people that are trying to make that shift. It's like going to the, deep end of the swimming pool. And there is apprehension. They feel a degree of comfort. As Nick Saban said, is one of the biggest enemy to great is good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good and comfortable with personal lines. It's my comfort zone. And in fact, on that same note, when we talk about what is the greatest hindrance to success, is fear is huge. That is right up there at the top. But interestingly enough, fear isn't our biggest enemy. Comfort is.
Mm-hmm.
Comfort is a greater enemy to our success than actual fear of taking on new stuff. So that's the battle that people deal with coming out of personal lines is, I know this, I can do this. I'm going to go do this and now kind of like start over, because personal lines and commercial lines are nothing the same. As my wife, who's also in the insurance industry, talks about, we were talking about this one night, and she said, it's just kind of like you don't feed the same food to an alligator that you feed to an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
They're both animals and they both eat, but they both eat way two different things. And that's the way commercial is to personal lines. Now you can pick whichever animal it is that you want to apply that to, but that's of your own. So it is a vast difference because it's learning a whole new language. It's understanding that thing. And I think one of the things that allows us to have the success that we do is the patience and walking them through that and helping them, kind of hold their hand as they do it. Now, if I can go ahead and, give a, industry secret here, how to do that. One of the greatest detriments to people getting into the commercial lines is running to go out and be a generalist.
Yeah.
I'm here. They start waving their flag. Hey, I'm going to do commercial now. Everyone come line up at my door. I'm writing commercial. Come one, come all.
Then you get trucking, TNT factories, and trampoline parks.
Well, you get those things and you wonder, I'm not having any success in anything.
Why can't I write
Right?
daycares?
Because I can't find, I can't find, markets for that. And the problem is when you're a generalist, you're looking for everything and you end up finding nothing. I equate it to trying to go out and say, well, you know what? I'm just going to use this bigger net so I can catch a lot of stuff. Well, a bigger net has bigger holes in it.
Yeah. Well, I had an agent, I'll refrain from their name, but they came to us and said that they want to be able to write everything that comes their direction. I'm like, okay, show me agencies, show me another, show me Marsh, show me big agency shops that do that very same thing. And what you find is almost none. I don't think there's one out there because they all specialize in particular niches, and then they slowly grow beyond that niche.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. That's exactly the way it works.
Because then the other thing is expertise.
Here's an interesting note, though, to it. What I have found in working with agents that have chosen to just, all right, you say it, I'm going to do it, and they go get their niche market, and they go pursue it with everything they have. Now, I say that to say, when choosing a niche market, you got to make two choices. Number one is you got to choose your niche market. The second choice is you got to choose to dominate that niche market. I can't choose to try the niche market. See, every time
I can't dabble, I can't dip my toe in it.
Yeah, every time you hear someone say, I tried, the next word that follows that is a but. Right? Trying is people's excuse for not doing.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation earlier today with amongst the team talking about we're not looking for people's effort. We're looking for commitment. What are you going to do? You make the commitment, you get in there and you get it done, right? So that niche market, right? It's like for me, I love manufacturing. I could go dominate that area, but it's because I have industry background, knowledge, and that's something that you just do it. So you're spot on, right? You can't just dabble. You got to, like me, I got a chunky dunk in there. I'm not going to.
Wait, what did you just say?
I'm a big guy. I'm the chunky dunk.
I've never heard that.
I'm going to steal that one from you. I'll give you
Chunky
credit for
Doug.
the first 3 times I use it. After that, it's mine, Chad.
Perfect. Royalty free.
The name of the episode now.
There we go.
Oh
The
my
Chunky
God.
Dunk episode. So there we go. And you're exactly right. So that's how it works, is you find that niche. But what I was going to say is the people that have said, all right, I'm going to get this plane off this runway and pursue it with passion, commitment, and persistence. When they leave their office to go out and talk with their niche market, it's like they've walked out of their office with flypaper on. Because they've moved, they're moving with excellence and intentionality in their environments and in their area. It attracts people from everywhere.
Yeah.
They end up writing more business than they ever would have trying to be a generalist.
Right.
Because people will come to them and see them. They're out in the community marketing to their niche, and they say, I know you do this. Any chance you know someone who could help me, or could you maybe look? Sure, I'll be happy to look at it.